We are here. We are live. Welcome to Curves and Vows. I am Christine Wright, the owner and photographer of Swish and Click Photography. And I started this podcast to discuss existing in a larger body in the wedding landscape where we don't see our bodies represented and how that makes us feel. So today I am interviewing Mila from the Hangry Girl. I recently might have photographed her elopement, but she's planning a big wedding for next year. And I wanted to bring her on to discuss what it's like to exist in a larger body and plan your wedding. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Christine. I'm so excited to just chat this out with you. I feel like it's almost wedding planning in a way.
Gentle readers, I have no idea where this interview is going. You're welcome. So why don't you introduce yourself? Tell us who you are.
My name is Mila. I am a public health nutritionist, web developer, writer. I have probably one of the most HGTV buying a house jobs ever. I'm like, oh yeah, I get to play with food all day, and that's how I make money. And people are like, what? That doesn't what?
I love
um,
it. I've actually done, I think so far, two of your recipes. Don't ask me which ones. It was like a month ago. There's nothing up here. They
I
were
love
delicious.
it.
You know food science.
Yeah, I do. And I feel like that's probably the best part of my job as somebody who is a nutritionist is I actually know food science and how food works
Yeah.
in the body and how to pair things together to make them taste good for very specific reasons. But then translating that, because not everybody is a food scientist or a recipe developer or a nutritionist. And so being able to translate that for people who are living with chronic diseases like diabetes or
Mm.
hypertension to be able to make delicious meals that are joyful and that make people feel good, that they can cook by themselves. They don't need to have a Michelin star chef in their kitchen. They get to be the Michelin star chef, and that overall helps people take care of their health. So I have a really just fun and awesome job that allows me to have a lot of creativity, and that also allows me to literally play with food all day, every day, which is so much fun.
Love this. Did you have an app too, right?
I do. So I have an app called Glucose Guide,
Mm.
and it is this really cool kind of blend of information and community. So if you're looking for ways to learn how to balance your blood sugars, my app helps you do things like take a picture of your food and analyze the ingredients to tell you about their balance and how
Beautiful.
they're working, and how they might be affecting your blood sugars so that you can use it to make better decisions in the future.
Sure.
And then we also have this community aspect where people can come, they can come to our weekly events, they can learn a little bit about what they're dealing with and why, and get some tips and tools for their everyday life.
Ooh.
And then also meet other people at the same time. And it's all virtual, it's all free. We're a nonprofit, so we lead with our hearts and helping to take care of people, and that's really our main goal, is to just make sure that there's equitable access to nutrition information for people, especially because there's such misinformation about nutrition in the world.
Oh my God. If another person tells me to eat less and move more, I might stab them.
Yeah, and you should. You literally should.
Because I also think that when you make less money, that you don't have the same access to nutritious food that people who have lots of money do. And that also hampers your ability to be your fullest, happiest self.
Yeah, absolutely. Or even the kind of reverse, I'm somebody who does have access and resources, but I don't live in a neighborhood where there is a grocery store really in a reasonable walking distance. So there is one, but it's about, a 20-ish 25-minute-ish walk, depending on how slow I'm walking, having to
Yeah.
carry back all of my groceries for that walk.
Yeah.
It's doable, but it's not the most easy to access. And so just knowing that there are different levels of access, different levels of income, different levels of being able to like get these things for
Mhm.
yourself. And so meeting people where they are in those ways, and also doing it in a way where it is individualized. And so I'm not looking at every single person I work with and telling them you must follow ABC
Yeah.
plan to be successful. It's okay, no, what do you have access to? What are your resources? Oh, you only have a $25 budget for the week for groceries. Okay, well, let's map this out and think it out, and really giving people the tools that they can use for themselves to be able
Yeah.
to better their health.
I love this so much. That's amazing. Okay, mental note, middle of February, we'll look at one of your recipes again. It's a very busy time. So I can only do as much as I can, and I do my best. Right now, it's taco bowls for dinner, and it is My Fit Foods for lunch. And then
You know,
I,
yeah. Yeah, it's perfect. Like, it fits, it works. If it makes you happy and it tastes good, like,
yeah,
no notes.
no,
No
no.
notes.
I buy salad mix and I brown up some ground beef and ground sausage with taco seasoning and vegetables. I might warm up some rice and I put
Yeah.
salsa on it and I'm good. And that's like, and cheese.
You
And
hit
I'm
all the
happy.
best all the good things, like,
Yeah.
right
And
there.
my ADHD hyperfixation loves this meal and will eat it for months at a time.
I
It's
love
fine.
it.
I love it. Okay. I love that introduction. Now we get to segue into how's it going wedding planning?
Well, we are I think, Christine, you know this because you were a part of our big, like, big special day, our very official
Uh-huh.
day. But we decided to get married after, me very much being like, this is what I want. This is what I love. This is like exactly where I want to be in our relationship. And my husband kind of being on the other side, being like, well, I'm really happy with our relationship the way it is. And the government doesn't really need to be involved in that. And so I think that we had both come to just a good like understanding and a good place where we were like, we're happy where this relationship is. We respect each other. We love each other. We feel perfect exactly where we are. And
Mhm.
then the government decided that they weren't going to renew the Affordable Care Act subsidies that were helping to drive down insurance costs for people all across the US. So, for someone like me who is an independent business owner who pays for their own insurance, Christine too, yeah, like it started to get so unaffordable. And I was paying, almost $900 a month for a plan that didn't really cover my blood work, didn't cover my endocrinologist, didn't cover me getting the medications that I was specifically taking for the last 5 years and like
What?
having to switch everything over, having none of it be met cost wise. It was all really overwhelming. And I was like, I'm paying so much money to get no care. And it's really just my insurance policy against like a catastrophic event. And that's not okay because I have a chronic illness, type 1 diabetes,
Yeah.
that requires insulin, that requires my pump and my continuous glucose monitor. And so those things in themselves are hundreds of dollars a month, so expensive
Yeah.
that there's no way I could pay it out of pocket. And so it came down to the decision of, okay, well, there's either me not having access to health insurance and like basically I die because if you're not familiar with type 1 diabetes, your body doesn't produce any insulin. And
Yes.
so if you don't take insulin, the only result is death. Like that's it, lights out, it's done for you. If your body doesn't make insulin, you have to take it in some sort of way. And so it became that choice of like, well, do we let me die? Or the other choice of, well, we can do something about it. And this is not the way that we would want to do it,
Yeah.
but it's the solution that we have. I tried like a stopgap in the middle. I was like, well, I can try to get an ACA plan in the marketplace. But then when they removed the subsidies, it became almost as expensive as it would have been for me to self-insure like through my self-employment. And so it really came down to, okay, this is the right decision for us and this is what's going to ensure that like I have the best health outcomes. And he, really felt like I can do something about this to help, and maybe it's not the exact way that I would have wanted to go
Yeah.
about it, but
It's
it's the
not as
best option
romantic
that we
as we
have.
dreamed about as children, right? We're like, oh, I'd like to get married for health insurance. I mean,
Yeah.
yes, there's love there, but it's for my life.
Yeah, and it was really interesting because we had this conversation with our therapist, because we are couples therapy people. We both come from relationships where we wanted to like make sure that we were taking care of ourselves if we entered into something new with someone else.
Yeah.
And so when we were talking about it with our therapist, I had said that exact same thing, Christine. I was like, well, it's not that romantic. And like, I'm really all about the romance part. And like, yes, like I like the practical part, but like I want the romance. And my therapist looked me dead in the face and said, why don't you think somebody wanting to save your life is not romantic? Like, why do you think
Yeah.
that?
It's
And
like
I was
one
kind
of
of
the
like,
most romantic.
yeah, yeah. And I was like, I never even thought of it in that perspective. I had just thought of it as like, oh, he's only agreeing to get married because of, it's like it's the stopgap for this issue.
Yeah,
And then my therapist was like, try and think about it differently because this person would not do this for just anybody. Like they're doing this for
yeah,
you because they love you. And so
exactly.
it really shifted my perspective about how I felt about it because kind of walking away from it at first, I was like, well, I'm getting exactly what I want, but I don't like it this way.
It still feels kind of like your hand is forced a little bit, but I mean, if I can tell you anything from photographing the two of you, that man loves you. I don't I think it's romantic in the end.
Yeah, for sure. And I see
You
it
guys
that
got
way
it hot and
now.
steamy, that's for sure. It was
My
fun.
gosh, it was so fun, and I love that you brought that out of us, like, that is
Mhm.
who we are as a couple, like, we are just, like, very touchy-feely and affectionate and, deep gaze into, the other person's eyes, like, that's just I think that's our, bare minimum a lot of the time, and so getting to have a photographer who could sense that and see that and you gave us such good I mean I'm bragging about you. I feel like this is like a review like hi Christine because I feel like you didn't try and hide those things just for a
No.
posed picture. Like you captured so much of the essence of us and we looked at every single picture and we were like this is stunning and this is exactly who we are. It was just it was awesome to be able to have that moment because I worked with a lot of photographers who are
Yeah.
interested in their vision and their vision only and what their portfolio looks like and they take pictures that reflect what they really want but then
Mhm.
we look at them and see ourselves as we didn't really love the way that these turned out because it
Yeah.
doesn't feel like us. Feels like some
No.
modeled play version of us. And so it was really cool that, I mean, we talked to you maybe once and then we
Yeah.
met you that day and literally you killed it. Like you just made us look so good, but also captured I think the romance of our relationship. And I love that you have that talent and you can do that.
Thank you. Yeah, I like to have it be like a client-led situation where I'm picking up on whether people are uncomfortable or comfortable and how far they're cool with going with things. Not in a gross way, everyone, just in a where hand placement goes. Again, not gross. Stay calm. Um, but yeah, like yesterday I had a wedding and I didn't know that we were going to get Wuthering Heights coated, but it was steamy and beautiful and very rich looking. And I was just like, the art is coming from the couple. I am
Yeah.
just a facilitator.
Yeah, and you're a great facilitator. It was I don't know, especially as somebody who is plus size and lives in a larger body, I do often worry about different angles or I'm like am I going to just look like a blob if I'm standing in this position and what I loved so much was that there was no effort to hide my body or
No.
make me pose in a way where it was suck your tummy in and
Right.
it was no I want you to stand up straighter because you look more
Yep.
confident, square off your shoulders and
Yep.
hold your chin up because
Yep.
you're proud to be who you are. And
Exactly.
I think that that was so cool because that's usually not the direction or the
No.
feeling when being
Mm,
photographed a lot of the times. And I do get photographed a lot for
you do.
different reasons. And so, it was truly, I think in my life, the first time that I was I'm walking away from this feeling awesome. It was my wedding day, of course, so it was going to feel
Yeah.
awesome regardless. But there was not a single moment where I felt oh my God, do I look fat or is my
Mm,
double chin just all out or no, I was never worried and I felt in safe hands, which I think is something so just remarkable about the way that you direct and the way that you help photos come to life.
oh, thank you. I don't even have words. I just it feels like a really warm hug because I feel like it validates all the hard work I've done to try and make people feel comfortable in front of the camera, regardless of what they look like. their background, whether they're neurospicy, all of it. I try and meet people exactly where they're at. And we
Yeah.
all have hang-ups. Like the message I got from my bride from yesterday was that she doesn't normally feel comfortable in front of the camera, and I make her feel like a fucking goddess. So I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
I'm
like literally same words,
so
copy paste.
copy paste. You are meant to feel everyone who exists in whatever body they have should be feel very comfortable and happy in their bodies. You shouldn't be feeling uncomfortable. I mean, maybe certain poses I'll tweak you and you're like, Christine, my lower back is aching, and I'll be like, suck it up because it looks great. But
Yeah.
beyond that, I'll show you the back of the camera in a second and you'll be like, I can hold this longer. Like, let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So to circle back to wedding planning, what are you seeing right now as a bride while existing in a larger body, navigating wedding planning?
Yeah. I mean, the first thing I'll say is I actually feel kind of encouraged. This is my second rodeo. So
Okay.
it's the second time that I have been in this position as a bride to have to plan. And I remember the first time around feeling like there's just nothing for me. Like there's no dresses that are going to look good
Good.
on me. There's no like I'm not going to feel beautiful as like all of these women look in their portraits. Like I feel like I'm just going to look dumpy. Or I went to go try on dresses, not realizing that everything comes in kind of like a size 12 sample size. And so
Yeah.
like at the time, like I mean, I think I've lost weight since that first time around, but like getting into a dress and being clipped in and then seeing a dress but not really being able to see it and being like I feel like the Hulk busting out of his t-shirt trying to try on this dress. Like I don't know that I want this dress because I don't know that in the final product I'll actually love the way that I look and the way that I
Yeah.
feel in it. And I think this time around, like even the biggest change that I have seen is that there's just so much more offering. Like there's so
Yes.
many more like inclusive sizing. There are places that you can actually go as a plus size bride to try on dresses that will fit you the way that they're meant to fit. And you actually have options. It's not just like the one column dress with like no detail, no personality. It's like you
No,
actually have
seriously.
choices and going to see different things. And so I think for me, like that was encouraging this time around because I actually did get a little bit exasperated when I was thinking about shopping for dresses.
Yeah.
My elopement dress was from Shein. Like it was $25. I had it altered to cut out a lot of the top fabric so that
Yep.
like I had like a more open neckline
Yeah.
and stuff, but
Because
it
you've
was a
got
very
big
cheap
boobs.
dress. Thank you so much. I agree. And so I was like, I want to show them off. I know he likes it
Yeah.
too. So like
Yeah.
I like putting my assets like front
Let's
and
go.
forward.
I mean, I
But I
just posted
knew,
a really great photo of the two of you recently to my Instagram feed, and sun's out, guns out.
oh my God, I love that picture. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't even like show it to my dad. Like when I was showing him pictures, I was like, okay, let me make sure the
Skip,
boobed ones
skip.
aren't in there. Cause my
And
dad's
then
gonna be like, wait a second.
also, don't let your dad see my Instagram for the next few weeks.
Oh my gosh, I will have to like get it out of the way. I shopped for the dress on Shein purely because I knew I'm gonna find a dress that fits me here that's not gonna
Yeah,
bankrupt me. Like it's not gonna cost me $1 million for this like few hours thing.
exactly.
When I started looking at like really formal dresses and bridal salons again, I think that was the thing that I felt was like more encouraging this time around was like they actually have like this like thoughtful effort to include plus size brides because it's not like we don't exist. And we also
Mhm.
want to feel magical and beautiful and princessy when we're
Yeah,
going to try on dresses and not walk away
absolutely.
feeling insecure or feeling like, well, I'm just like not going to find anything that's going to look good on me for that day. And I think that like that is such a big change, even in the
Yeah.
past at this point, like 10 or 12 years
Yep.
since I last had this experience.
Yeah, because when I got married in 2011, I was dress shopping in 2010, and I was told that we could just pin the dress to the front of my body and we'd know how it looked. And I'm like, do you notice my butt? Like, I have a large ass, people. Like, and I also have an apron belly. So you have like roundness here and roundness here. How will I know how
Yeah.
that dress looks like on me in 2010? So,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm so happy with the kinds of dresses that I'm seeing now from designers. So I was at New York Bridal Fashion Week in October, a week before you were in October, and the amount of like plus size dresses that I saw were beautiful. The models were gorgeous. I love that Haley Page, who's back, y'all, is doing extended sizes and she doesn't have like numbers on her dresses. So I think all of that's wonderful. But I got to see like Liz Simon in person and Elle Nell, and all of those designers are doing great jobs for plus size bodies.
Yeah, and, like, making dresses that are stunning and
Mhm.
not just, like, draped fabric. That was the thing that I was like, "Oh, thank goodness," because, I'm a person who doesn't like to do anything the way that anybody else likes to do it. I am very
Yeah.
much, like, march to the beat of my own drum, and so, like, pulling a dress off the rack and being like, "A million other people have worn this," like,
Mm.
I don't know that I really want it. But then being like, "Oh, well, it doesn't come in my size anyway, great. Okay, well, I didn't even have the
Okay.
choice in the first place," is kind
Yeah.
of a, like, just crappy feeling, and so it's really nice that, like, it's not only the inclusivity in sizing, but it's also in style and color and fabric, and it's just like you get to have it all just like everybody else does, and I think that that
Mhm.
is so awesome because it
Yeah.
has not always been the case that it has been inclusive. I hope it really continues to be that way. Like, I know that we're in this time period where we're seeing everything kind of revert back to straight sizes and being less inclusive and like diet culture kind of like rearing its head. And I really hope that even though we're seeing kind of that pullback into that like less inclusive mindset, that like the wedding industry just remembers brides of all sizes get married and need something to wear. And like, if you were the one of the ones who are catering to all women, like, you're doing a really great job because you're going to be able to like get that business from people because people want that inclusivity. Like, if they can see
Mhm.
themselves in your design and your gown and like the things that you produce, like they're more willing to take the splurge and like make the jump to get the thing that you create. I think the other thing that like was really interesting to me too is that I remember back then, um, I was at a bridal salon and when we were talking about dresses, they said, okay, well, I think at the time I was like a like wedding dress size 20. And so they were like, well, since you're outside of the 00 to like 14 or 16 wedding dress size, it's going to be this extra cost because of the extra fabric, the extra, whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh God, okay. So like now I'm like, my dress is like priced by the pound. And
Literally.
like,
Literally, you're
yeah. And
being
so
punished.
yeah, and I was like, I just remember that being really demoralizing also because there were so many dresses that I loved that were in my budget in a straight size, but not in my budget in a plus size. And so like having, that ability to shop now and it's a bit more equitable. It's not nearly as stark of a price difference in between dresses. Like it's a little bit different, but it's not like double the price of the dress or whatever just because of the
Yeah.
size. I think like that is also something that is heartening and that is like, okay, like same playing field as everyone else.
Yeah, no, I specifically love that. I think that TikTok is also because we're all communicating with each other in a more open way, that we're talking about the fact that it really doesn't take too much extra effort or money to make the plus size sizes, and that they're literally just charging us more to punish us for existing in larger bodies. Like, it doesn't cost them more. And that's one of the
Yeah.
things that I learned in my hefty years of being very attached to TikTok in an unhealthy way.
Yeah, that's another thing that I feel like has been really heartening about this experience is like, I think back then, like I had Pinterest, of course, to
Yeah.
be able to like document my ideas, share my boards with my
Yeah.
friends, like let everybody kind of like weigh in and like help guide and give
Mhm.
some direction and advice. And I think it's really cool now that like I can actually if there's like a designer I really like, I can type their name into TikTok and I can literally see their dresses on plus size
Or
bodies
yeah,
that are real people and I can be like, "Oh, okay." Like, actually, like, okay, this like, this woman maybe doesn't have the exact same body type as me, but like
yeah,
we're similar in some ways and like I can get a better picture and vision of how this can look and I think that also kind of democratizes the information
yeah,
because you're able to see really like what something would look like on you or
Yeah.
somebody like you, not a model who is like picked out
Yeah.
specifically for her proportions or,
Yep.
things like that. And so I feel like that access to information, like we just have so much more of it now and like the ability to actually see each other where we are as real people. And that also makes a difference in being able to be like, oh, I didn't think I would like that, but like I
Mhm.
actually think this looks really good. And being able to get ideas in that way too. I think that has been like so
Yeah.
cool to be able to kind of see something that you really like and be like, okay, I can see that on myself, especially like, I don't know, I'm a person who's very visual and can kind of like sketch things out and see it before I have to see it. But
Yep.
I know that there are people who like have to see it on before they can be convinced. And so it's really
Yep.
cool that we actually get to be able to
Yeah.
do that too.
No, I completely agree. I'm also really enjoying the fact that designers are doing more trendy styles on our body size. I really like square necklines for me personally, and I think that it makes my nice round boobs look like it adds dimension. I don't know. The square with the round is very compellingly attractive. So
Yeah.
I like that we're seeing more square necklines, or like it's gonna, one of the new trends is having it going up and then doing like a little tippy tip here, and that looks fabulous on
Yes.
someone who has boobies.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh
And
my
I also
gosh.
really like a basque waist because I've got an apron belly. And so the basque waist just like drops right over that little apron, and you have no idea.
Yeah, it
Just
makes your
carries it
hips pop,
right.
like, just gives you that good,
Yeah,
like,
it
that,
makes
like,
me hit
good
that
shapey shape.
hourglass. Like, yep, it's beautiful looking. And I'm so glad that designers are doing this for all of our sizes and not just wonderfully thin people. Happy for
Yeah.
you, but we like it too.
Yeah, exactly, like, we deserve to look beautiful and stunning and wonderful on our wedding day in something that we actually like, not something that we just settled for.
Something that is designed to just like cover you up as much as possible so we don't have to look at your body. If people don't like the way fat bodies look, that's a them problem. That's really not an us problem. And they should honestly seek therapy because it says that they've had trauma in their past that has them feeling some kind of way about plus size bodies.
Yeah,
Just gonna
absolutely.
say it.
Hard agree.
So, where are you finding inspiration for your wedding right now? Are you seeing your body type represented in your inspiration? How's all of that going?
Yeah, I think, still even just kind of doing the cursory, like visual search, lots of things are displayed on straight size bodies. And so you kind of have to like imagine a little bit and like use your imagination and like the sizes are there maybe, but the representation, I think visually still sort of leans toward straight sizes. So I feel like instead of really looking at like dresses on a body, I started looking more for elements of things that I really
Yeah.
love that I think would work on my body. And
Yes.
so it's almost like I don't know, like just like putting some puzzle pieces together. And I think like you just kind of mentioned a few elements of things that I really like. So that
Really?
like corseted bodice that has like the cool, like kind of like, pointy top of the corset, like I think is really cool. I love like big full skirts, something that is very like dramatic, maybe like a little asymmetrical. So I've been looking for like inspiration in elements. And I feel like that's helping me to kind of shape what I want instead of looking at a dress already on someone's body who like the dress is beautiful, the person is beautiful, but like I can't really see myself in it.
Yeah.
And I think that that has also helped me to not play a game of comparison
Yeah.
or to hop into thinking like, because I like this dress on this person's body, I'm going to like this dress on myself.
Because you might
And
not.
so exactly, and that's been like I feel like the person who gets to style me at the bridal salon is gonna have a ball because I'm not walking in being like, I want like this exact dress or this exact
No.
style. Like I'm kind of like, I just want something that looks good on me. And it's okay if it's outside of my comfort zone. Like if I
Yeah.
feel amazing in it, then I want it.
Yeah.
But like like obviously like there are some dresses I look at and I'm like, "Oh, I would love that dress. But I'm also
Mhm.
like, well, I don't know how it's gonna look on me. Like
Right?
it might be beautiful. It also might not look
Mhm.
great, or it might be too much, or it might be like not enough for my
Yeah.
personality. And so just looking at like different elements and kind of piecing it together and not trying to have this like vision of the dress itself in mind, but just like here are things that I really like and things that I want to show off. And then, I of course like asked my husband the other day, like, well, like, what do you think you would like me to wear? And he goes, no, you know how to dress yourself. I'm not telling you how to do it. You are perfectly capable. You look great whenever you get dressed. Like, I don't have to
That was
be
the right
there to
answer.
like,
That way, if you guys
yeah,
decide to do a first look on your wedding day, you don't tell him anything and he gets to have a huge surprise.
exactly, exactly. And so, just taking it from kind of like the pieces and then being like, I know that I will find something that I really
Mhm.
love. I
Yep.
just don't know what it is yet. And that's okay. Like, I don't have to have the full vision of everything.
No.
The 2 things that I know are I want, like, a really, like, awesome dress that just, like, shows off my boobs and that I wanna
Yeah.
wear my hair down that day. Like, that's it.
Ooh.
And that's all
Ooh.
that's all I
I
know so
That's a
far.
great direction. I'm all about that. One of
Yeah.
my favorite, people who got married recently who exists in a larger body is Emma Arletta. I don't know if you saw her wedding, but her whole entire thing was just aspirational, like, from her several dresses on her wedding weekend to just her design of her wedding was just, like, trendy and gorgeous, and she exists in a larger body, and, like, it's just I was just like, "Yeah, I'm floored by this. This is phenomenal."
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I love that so much.
I don't know if it will let us, but this is her on her wedding day, and it's
Oh
just
my goodness.
incredible. So they just her and her husband just, like, were so trendy, and she just really, like, found everything that would fit her body beautifully and accent it. She does a lot of reels, so it's hard to find, like, photos of stuff, but she even, like, her welcome dinner outfit was insane.
Oh my gosh. Like,
Yeah.
powerful. It looks
So
so good.
and I love that we get some of these images now
Yeah.
because for so long, I don't know if you felt this way, but I was told that because I exist in a larger body, that I really wasn't powerful and that my mom told me that like when a specific guy I didn't like was interested in me, she's like, "Well, you exist in a larger body, so you should just take what you can get." It's
Mhm.
like, "But I don't like him." And she's like, "But no one else is going to be interested." And I'm like, "Then I guess I'll
Yeah,
be
like
single."
yeah, exactly, exactly. I would rather have someone who appreciates me for who and what I exist as or what I might change to be in the future
Yeah.
than somebody who is just, like, indifferent. Like, that's I feel like the worst. I mean,
Yes.
same girl because yeah, I feel like that was a lot of my experience previously, was trying to conform and change into something because somebody wanted it that way and not because I wanted it that way. I think it's
Yes.
so I don't know, just like knowing that you are like with somebody who has such an appreciation for who you are rather than what you look like of
Mhm.
course like the physical chemistry and attraction is always so important but I think like when you can lead with the fact that like the way that your body appears or whatever is not like the thing that's standing in the way of the progress or the kindness or the just the ability to have a good relationship. Like, I think that part of it is so important.
It is.
And it, like, I don't know, it goes back to, like, I know that whatever I pick and whatever I wear, like, first and foremost, I'm gonna love it, and I'm
Yeah.
gonna feel so badass that day, like, I'm
Oh,
so
yeah.
excited for that, but I also know that, like, that moment of him seeing me that way for the first
Mhm.
time, because like, even though, like, we're already married and, like, we eloped and he saw me,
Yeah.
the elopey bride
Yeah.
setting, like, I think that's one way, but, like, also just the, like, wedding day goddess
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
setting also is just like, oh, like, I can't wait for that moment, and I know that I have the ability to, like, again, like, pick something that I love rather than something that I just have to settle for because it
Yeah.
fits or because it
Exactly.
works, and it's the only thing that works.
Low key, I'm like, maybe you should come to New York with me in April so we can go look at gowns together.
Oh my god.
Come to
See, you're
New York
saying
Bridal
that, and
Fashion Week.
I'm like, that sounds like the best idea, to be honest. So, we're gonna
I could get us tickets. I already have tickets to the bridal market. I can add people. Just saying.
alright, we're talking about this.
I'm such an enabler. My friend Mia's coming, so we could have like a girls' trip.
Oh my gosh, I would love that so much, and I love New York all the time, but New York in spring is awesome, and I'm going
Oh, I
later this year
know.
again too,
And
so
like,
I would love that so much,
and
so
like
much.
in October, I went to the Starbucks Reserve right across from Chelsea Market, and they had this amazing espresso pumpkin spice martini. And so I would love to have whatever lavender shit they've got out on that day because I'm sure it's amazing. And I don't drink a lot, but I will get drunk at Starbucks at their alcohol place
I'm
bar.
dead, Christine. Oh my god. We're okay, yes, this is happening. It's happening. You can't convince me not to now. Like, that just sounds like the best trip, and I have to go anyway. I have to explore the options, you know?
Literally, what if we made an appointment at Kleinfeld's? I'm just saying.
So I have been getting all of these say yes to the dress, like Instagram reels. I guess they're like posting old episodes on Instagram. I have not watched TLC in like a decade. And
No.
so I am like cracking up, but I was like, dang, I kind of want to go to Kleinfeld's because they like a bunch of people were saying, like, even if there's a dress there that's not in your budget, just go
Yeah.
because like they will like they want to make sure that you have the most beautiful and best experience. And so like even if there's a dress that's like outside, they're like, hey girl, hey, like we'll help you out, we'll do something for you. So I feel like you just unlocked a second spring
Mhm.
trip for me.
Okay, so what are your feelings as you plan your wedding while existing in a larger body, and do you feel pressure to be smaller?
I think that personally I don't feel pressure to be smaller. And that has been something that has definitely come from within, like something that I
Mhm.
have worked on for a really long time. And that I finally just kind of decided like I have spent so much time in my life since I was probably 7 or 8 years old, being called fat on the playground, like hating my body and thinking that I'm not worth it and I'm not worthy. And I was like, what if I just
Yep.
spent like 20 minutes liking my body? What happens
Yes.
if I do that? Like, is the world going to implode or like what happens? And so I think like I made this like conscious and continual effort, especially after I got divorced the first time, to be
Yeah.
like, I love myself and I love the way I look and I love my body and I love these things about my body. And I love how whenever I sit down, my legs jiggle. And I love how when I
Yes.
run, like my calves are like popping because
Yeah.
like I have awesome leg muscles.
Yeah, you
And
do.
like I think at first it was lies to myself because I didn't feel that way. I didn't feel like I had that ability, but like in the continual practice of like telling myself like you're worth it, your body is awesome, you look amazing, like you are strong,
Yeah.
you can bench press a small man, like you're doing wonderful, you look
Yeah.
great, like yeah, I think over time like that message to myself became something that I actually do believe, and like nobody can tell me any different, like, and I
Yes.
don't ever look at pictures anymore and like zoom in and like focus on
Yeah.
like the things that don't matter or the things that are like I have this like little back roll, like who cares, like nobody
Yes.
else notices it and nobody else cares.
If they don't love you because of that, or they don't, or people dislike you because of that, like they love you for who you are. Like they couldn't care less that there's a back roll somewhere. I have several.
Exactly.
Lots of several front rolls, everyone, and I have jowls. And I don't know. Either you like
And
me
I
or you
think
don't. And I'm at
yeah.
the age where I'm just like, I can't control how you feel when you look at my body.
Yeah, yeah, and, like, it's, like, nobody else lives in this body, and my body is also not offensive to other people,
No.
like, it just is,
Yeah.
it just exists, and, like, if you find offense, if you find some way to feel, like, discomfort, then, like, that's an exploration for yourself
For
and
you.
not your
Exactly.
projection about my body, so
Exactly.
I feel a lot of times like it took me a lot of time to get to the point where I wasn't doing things to change my body for other people, but that like if I wanted to, it was I'm doing it for myself. And now it's
Yeah.
never I'm doing this to shrink or I'm doing it to lose weight or I'm doing it to diet. It's I want to be healthy and I want to be strong and I want to
Yep.
be here for like my husband and
Yeah.
my kid and my
Yeah.
poodle, and I want to like live a
Yeah.
healthy life, and I my I think you know this, but my mom passed away when she was 53 years old.
Yeah.
And 53 is super
So
young. She had a heart
young.
attack when she was 53.
Oof.
And so like I never got to see my mom with gray hair. I never got to see my mom
Oh,
bounce around grandkids. Like, and those are all things that I want for my own life. Like I want
yes.
to grow older. I want to like be mad that I have gray hair.
Yeah.
I want to like,
Yes.
I want to have wrinkles. I want to like I want all of those things. I want to age well and gracefully and healthy, and I can't do that if I'm not eating or if I'm, trying to
Yes.
shrink my body to a place where it's like just not meant to be.
Malnourished.
Like
Yeah.
exactly. And so I think for me, like I always think of those things and I think to myself, like being strong is more important to me than being thin or than fitting into a certain size right off the rack. Like it's more
Yep.
about being healthy, being happy, and being here because like you can't like be a person if you're dead. Like like you just can't be. So
Yeah. Maybe we can come back and haunt people, but that also feels, misaligned. Your spirit,
a little bit.
the
Exactly.
communication will be off. But there's
Just a
also
little.
scientific studies that show that the stronger you are, the healthier you are, and the longer you're going to live. So it doesn't get into how thin you are. It's just about, especially for women, like bone density and muscle strength, and how weightlifting is so important for us as we get older. Like it's a huge thing. So that's why I weightlift 2 to 3 times a week, because I'm not going to turn into someone who has frail bones. I refuse. So when I
Yeah.
started on my GLP-1, I said to my trainer, I'm like, we are gaining muscle through this whole process. We are not losing it. And we have stuck to that. And it's been really great. I can now deadlift 210 pounds, and I'm sneaking up on my old 1 rep max weight. And I'm very excited. I
I'm
will
so
beat her this
excited for
year. It's only
you.
February. She will be destroyed this year, and it's coming.
My gosh. Whenever you are like about to get there, please just invite me to your sessions. I just want to come watch so
Okay.
I can like clap
Yeah.
for you.
It's in the Heights. I think it would be like a 15-minute drive for you.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. No,
I've
I would love to see you accomplish that for
Yeah,
sure.
to plug them, it's Black Wolf CrossFit in the Heights, and Ricardo is my
Yeah.
trainer, and I've known him for 10 years, and he's phenomenal, and I've had injuries and other things, and he always finds accommodations for me, so I can always work out and consistently be, like, in shape and building my strength. It's like,
I love that.
yeah. Yep.
What a gem,
He is.
Ricardo.
Yep. He'll see this and he'll be like, "Oh my god." And those are all of the questions that I wrote down. Do you have any other thoughts about wedding planning and existing in a larger body and the landscape that we are currently going through?
I mean, I think planning a wedding can bring out so many of your biggest insecurities, and you don't even kind of realize it until you step in and
Mm,
you're facing it and you're looking at it and you feel that sense of like trying to do something that's like perfect, right? Because like we live in this society of like Instagram and perfection and like everything polished and like the perfect,
right.
like Pinterest pin board of all of the most gorgeous images. And you feel like there's a lot to live up to. But like, I think it goes back to that feeling of being good with you first. Like a
Mhm.
wedding is not going to change your feelings about yourself. It's not going to make you feel more beautiful. It's not going to make you feel better if you don't already feel those things. It's only going to amplify the things that already make you feel crappy. And so I think like throughout the process, just reminding yourself that like you're worth it, you're worth having this like celebration. People are coming to celebrate you. They're not looking at your body. Really, they're coming because they love you and they want to see you happy and they want to celebrate something that's really important in life.
Yeah.
And so showing up that day as yourself and loving yourself through that process and telling yourself you love yourself through that process is super important, especially on those days where it feels hard or it feels like maybe am feeling like I won't find anything. in this particular moment, but also extending yourself a lot of flexibility because like there is that pressure to choose the dress on the first
Yeah.
run, the first try. I've booked a bunch of appointments at bridal salons and I've put in the notes like I'm not picking a dress on this visit. Just so
Yeah.
you know, like I'm here and I'm looking and I'm trying on and I'm figuring out what works for me, but I'm not necessarily going to commit to something like right off the bat that I'm going to wear like a year from now, first of all.
Yeah.
But also like, I want that time to be able to sit with it and to feel like this is what's for me. And I think like being able to be upfront about that also is really nice because it takes a little bit of the pressure off at that appointment. And it makes
Mhm.
you feel like you can search for different options. Because you can go in knowing and thinking you know exactly what you want, but might not be what you walk
Mhm.
out with. And you should be able to look at it more than once before you
Yeah.
decide to like make
Yeah.
that decision.
And you should be able to compare it to other ones so that way you can say, well, I like this and this about it, but I didn't love this. So that helps you narrow down where your search is going.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I
Yeah.
think just like being honest with yourself in the process and being kind to yourself in the process just makes for the best outcome. And that's coming from someone who's gotten the like rear view hindsight of like hindsight's 2020
Yeah.
feeling is like, that first time I think that I was very like it felt very performative. Like
Yeah.
I had my ex-mother-in-law, my mom, my ex-sister-in-law, my best friend, like all of these people who are really important to me
Yeah.
there. And I felt like I have to make this decision today. I have to choose this thing today. And I really didn't sit with that decision and that feeling for long enough. And like there isn't any rush. Like if you start early and you start planning it early, you get the chance to really be able to sit with your decision and then really love what you're coming away with rather than
Yeah.
feeling like I just had to choose something because everyone important is here on this visit or
Yeah.
I'm discouraged and I don't want to even try on anything else. So I'm just going to pick something right now because I can't move forward like analysis paralysis. And so giving yourself like ample time, ample space, and then also just like thinking about what you like and what you love, regardless of like what you see on someone else's body, you'll find something that you love and like firmly believe that like you can say that especially now, like you will find something
Yep.
and like it'll be beautiful and it'll be perfect for you. And it doesn't have to look like everything that everybody else is wearing or like somebody just draped you in a white bed sheet.
Yeah. No moo here
No
unless that's your
moo
style.
unless
If
you
you
want it,
want
unless you
to,
want it.
all the power to you. Have at it. But like, it's not for us. We're both maximalists.
Exactly.
So
Yes, yes. I cannot tell you how many times I've used that word in planning. It's like I want to do the most and I will.
yep, yep. In fact, my 3 weddings I've had so far this year have all been maximalist couples, and there's my whole entire soul is excited about it. Yeah, we've had
It's
so
so
much fun.
amazing.
And my next one is also gonna be super maximalist, and we're just gonna be so obnoxious about it, and my soul is ready. We're just
Yeah.
gonna have a great time. And I love,
Yeah,
like,
it's
bright colors and not being ashamed about anything and loving yourself and loving your partner and just being, like, out there and unreserved and excited.
yeah, absolutely. Like it's one of the most special days that you'll ever have with so many of the most special people in your life and it's like why not
Why not?
do the most? Like why
Yeah,
not do the most?
and love on your people, and you're not all gonna be dressed up together the same way that you are at this moment, like, it's a very special moment for you and all of the people you invite, like, it's beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, thank you for being on my podcast, I love you. Where can people find you?
I am the hangry woman all over the internet. So if you search it, you'll find it.
And do you have a favorite recipe that you've been making recently?
I think our go-to always for just like an easy night, and I know this recipe has been done to death, but it's like the salmon sushi bowls. So
Ooh,
using like sushi rice that has been like pre-cooked,
yeah.
you throw it in a bowl and then you just add whatever you want on top of it. So we do fresh cucumbers,
Ooh.
tomatoes,
Ooh.
avocado, the QP mayo. So like it's made of like all egg yolks. So it's like super rich. So like drizzle that on top, sesame
Yeah.
seeds to drizzle on top.
Ooh.
And then you can buy, we're in Texas, both Christina and I. So like at HEB, you can buy sushi grade salmon and sushi grade tuna. And so we
Ooh.
get that. It's like super cheap because it's just like the individual portions. So we don't waste
Yeah.
anything. And then we chop it up like really finely, throw it into the bowl, and drizzle some soy sauce and some mirin on it. It sounds super complicated now that I'm saying all of that out
But
loud,
no, it's
but
just
it's
it's a
literally
bowl.
like, yeah,
Bowls
you
have, like,
throw it
at
in the
least 20
bowl.
ingredients.
Exactly. It's like
No
the
shade to
ultimate.
bowls. I have taco bowls. We were just talking about it. There were so many
Yes.
ingredients in that one too, so
Yeah. So like those, like just like taking literally everything in the fridge and being like, you know what? I gotta use all this stuff, so I'm gonna throw it in a bowl, just
yeah.
make it a bowl.
Yeah, I
And
love bowls.
then the other thing that I really love is of course girl dinner. So just like doing like a
Perfect.
platter and just like different types of little crackers
Yeah.
and some like jams, some like
Yes.
soft and hard cheeses, Kona
Sure.
almonds,
Yum.
veggies, just like
Love.
grazing and kind of
Yes.
making it a like, I'm just gonna like munch while
Tortilla
I want
chips.
to.
Yeah.
Yes. And then like a little glass of wine on the side and like
Hell yeah.
perfect.
Or like for me, a virgin espresso martini. So just espresso. It's fine.
Yes. Yes. The espresso
I have
martini.
ADHD, so it puts me to sleep. It's fine.
Espresso martini at 9 p.m. Puts you to sleep.
It honestly, gentle readers, it does put me to sleep. And I like it like that. Even though
Yeah.
I will be getting on Adderall fairly soon.
Yeah. Well, yay.
Yay!
That makes me
Concentration
happy for
day.
you.
It doesn't come out on wedding days. I wanna be fun and fancy free on wedding days to be creative, but
Yeah,
for days where I
absolutely.
need to edit, yeah,
Yeah.
I need that. I need it really badly, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
But, okay, you're amazing. I love that you were on my podcast, and everyone, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Curves.